All right, good afternoon. Welcome back here to Trader Minute. Great to have you aboard. Let's go out and take a look at it. Let's start with the challenge, and we have one position on the board with Home Depot, and the current option price is $5.55, which is the same as what it was this morning. And we've seen a little bit of implied volatility go into it, but it's a stock that has held up pretty well today, given what's happened in the market. But we're nowhere close to our stock exit level, our profit level, or our time exit. So going to hold Home Depot here into the weekend and run here with that. Now, we saw the market, off to a decent start today, and then opened up and pulled on back. Okay, pull on back and then, rally on back. We've seen that action quite often here of late. And then we get this candle. Whoosh. Where we get about 24 points in a candle, and we see some monster volume on that. And then, a few moments later, we're snap back almost erasing that. It's one of those where, if you want all the details of it, it's all out there, on all the news sites and stuff. But if you take a look at some things like an Alibaba, right, kind of tells you what's going on. Alibaba dropped, $10, $12 right on the news. And this is a report out of Bloomberg that, the U.S. may curb some, U.S. investments in China and, some portfolio transfers, and that would affect some of these ADRs a little bit, like an Alibaba. And, if you go take a look at a JD.com, both of these are on the challenge watch list. Both of these with very sharp drops here today with that news. And, here you can see JD on the drop. I mean, just a big drop on that news. So, what do we get, market-wise? Well, market-wise, we get same old chop and pop and drop and all that. Just market not going anywhere. We just don't see it really make big up moves. We're not seeing it really make big down moves. I know we're down 25 points, right? That's a big move. It's 0.8%. So, we're not talking about massive moves out there, here in the market. We do see the market internals continuing to pull back. They've been in neutral mode, and they've just been slowly pulling on back. But the market vibe today is a 0. And the signal is a neutral. So it doesn't get much more neutral than that when it comes down to it. A lot of speculation of what's going to happen and, who's going to do what and how's the market going to react and all of that. But the bottom line is the market story didn't change today. It's one where, the story is the same. It's still this story of, fund managers have a very difficult decision, right? They don't have strong valuations. They have some good growth areas, but, if certain things unfold, could that destroy the growth? And without strong valuation to go into, what do they do? And it leaves some fund managers in a very unenviable position. I know there are several of you listening to my voice right now who are fund managers, and I've talked to two of you here over the last 3 weeks, and definitely not a fun position to be in when it comes to kind of looking out at this market and saying, okay, what's the next move there? So you really have to kind of play a more of a delta neutral type strategy and be fairly cautious, and that's what we continue to see out of fund managers here overall. All right. Now, for the challenge, there are some crossovers, right? We saw some crossovers this morning to the upside. Honeywell, Delta Airlines, and if you take a look at the scan right now, there are no upside crossovers, right? They've all been erased, and this is a big reason why in the morning we just have the algorithm tighter, because when they do erase by the close, it really destroys the probabilities. And so we really need a strong probability in the morning that it's going to be able to hold, in order to go out and chase it. So no 3-7 crossovers to the upside. So no bullish trades trades here to make this afternoon. And then on the downside, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stocks with downside 3-7 crossovers. You're going to notice 2 of these names, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Now, Coca-Cola and Pepsi both had upside crossovers yesterday. And, I mentioned, consolidation risk was too high, not making the trade because of that. And you can see what's happening. And one thing that will happen, when stocks go through consolidations, you'll see the 3-7 cross down, you'll see it cross up, it'll cross down, it'll cross back up. It will make multiple moves. And one of the things the algorithm has to do is sort those out, right? And it's not perfect at sorting them out, right? I've gotten in positions that are triggered for the algorithm, on days like yesterday, and had days like today follow it, only to have, the next day chop the next way. But in the same way that they weren't signals yesterday on their 3-7 crossover up, they're not signals today on their 3-7 crossover down because of the consolidation risk. Apple is in that same boat right now. Microsoft in that same boat right now, and just one of those where they don't offer a trade to be made as they sit at the moment. So not going to do anything here other than hold Home Depot into the close today, and then see where things are Monday. Get some signals, we'll take them and go and run here with them. If you haven't already checked out the videos on the front page of the challenge spreadsheet, please do so. You can access this spreadsheet on the right hand side of your screen there, over in the message feed. There is a link for this spreadsheet that you'll have access to. The link will change every couple weeks. But in this link, there are 4 videos linked, and strongly encourage you to do the first 3 sorting methods. Not nearly as important, but it's there. But to really kind of understand the mechanics and how the challenge runs here now, and what drives the trade decision process, because it is not, hey, what do I think and what do I make out of the nice little bit of move and all of that. It's one where I'm able to kind of just sit back and watch a little bit along with you. Obviously, I have a rooting interest, and am rooting for any trade made to go our direction and everything else. But it's not something that I am choosing the entries or I'm choosing the exits. I'm simply following the algorithm and making those happen. I do trade a little bit on my own, right? And do enjoy that. From time to time, we'll talk about some of those setups. That said, I haven't set up anything here today with the market kind of coming to the close of the month. Seeing that news here this morning, I decided I'll back out a little bit and kind of see how things materialize here as we get into Monday. Thanks for hopping on. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and we will talk to you Monday. Take care.